Peace and blessings. This is your brother, your humble servant, Nasik Emmanuel Shaheed Ben Abraham. You know, I'm out here driving on this road and I'm thinking about the condition of our people, thinking about the condition of the black man and the black community and the relationship between the black man and the black woman today. We are in a bad state of mind and a bad condition because this bandit has done such a wicked job on us as a people that we too have fallen into the trap and have lost our way. I see all this hype around the presidential election. You know, one thing about we all recognize is that these politicians be lying. So we got to play this game differently now. And we got to come from a business perspective and we got to approach it so that we do something for ourselves. And right now, there's nobody talking about a black agenda. There's nobody talking about what they're going to do specifically for black people. They don't want to hear that crap. Man, they do it for everybody else. But when it come to us, it's nothing they can do.
I'm going to sit here and say, I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people? No.
Why did y'all pass a law only for Asians? Why did y'all pass a law only for Native Americans? Why did y'all pass a law only for transgenders? Why did y'all pass a law only for LGBTQs? Why did y'all pass a law only for immigrants? If you can't do anything just for black people, this is what she said. It came out of her mouth. If you can't do anything just for black people, how was it possible for you and President Biden to do all these other things for specific ethnic groups in this country from whose benefit no other group?
So what are we really voting for? Nobody's willing to really sit down with the organic black man. Nobody's really sincere about helping poor people in our community. These immigrants done came in here, man, and now California is giving out home mortgages and loans, low interest, no down payments, and things in that nature. We sitting around here being so gullible off of emotional nonsense. But what are we gonna do for ourselves? You know, we got it backwards, brothers and sisters. We got it backwards, man. We so caught up into this emotionalism and identity politics and stuff like that. You know, you're supposed to put economics first and then politics. But most of us is so hooked into this crap that we put in politics first and then maybe think and wish and hope and pray once they get elected that they'll do something for us economically where we can build ourselves up. But that's not what their plan is, man. And we plan is totally wrong and totally out of pocket for today. I mean, I understand what you had to do in the 60s and the 50s, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, and things in that nature. But that agenda is old, man. The days of black people being used as a pawn for victimization. And then they want to drive us through fear tactics to go to the polls. I don't want to go to vote because I'm a coward out of fear that the boogeyman is going to get me. Man, I want to go and vote because I know I'm going to vote for something that's going to come directly to my people and into my community. And we can't cut a deal after they elected. We got to cut a deal on the front end. And these political operatives that look like us, man, we sick and tired of them. And we sick and tired of these misleaders. We sick and tired of, and y'all need to understand, God is releasing a prophecy on this planet right now. Huh? And you need to go read Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter. The first 10 verses and see what it's saying about these misleaders. See what it's saying about these sellouts. See what it's saying about these political operatives that's getting paid and all these influencers that's getting paid on social media to continue to feed that nonsense into you and you buying into this trap. That's right. They're getting paid to tell you this stuff. So why would they harm their bread and butter? They don't care about you eating. They don't care about you having no sauce. They don't care about your come up. But we running around here election after election and come up empty-handed at the end of the day with some doggone crumbs off a master's table. No, man, we got to do this different, man. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, listen, I ain't trying to, I am trying to tell you the truth. That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to help you understand what kind of time we in right now. So we got to get up and do something for ourselves. And we got to sit down with those and balance our power. We don't need to be a part of none of these parties. We need to create our own party that backs our plan and an uncompromising black agenda. And the black man got to stand up and take the lead. He got to stand up and take the lead. Man, they trying to take us out of here. And let me say this about Project 2025. Y'all got to be kidding me. See, this is cowardless on our behalf. They gonna put something out here because it's a conservative group. A liberal group got a plan. The LGBT got a plan. And in their plan is a war on masculinity. I mean, let's put the cards on the table. The Green Party got a plan. Why don't the black man or the black community put out our plan that we can influence policy with? And don't hand me this crap about some 2025. Oh, this spooky, the boogeyman is gonna take our democracy away from us. What are you talking about, democracy? When have we really had democracy in this country? What are you talking about? I mean, they say slavery ended in 1865. That's when they say slavery ended. Slavery ended in 1865. Jim Crow started in 1865. Jim Crow ended in 1964 with the Voting Rights Act. Huh? So what are you talking about? We've been after plan after plan. And then in 1964, what happened? J. Edgar Hoover. What did he say? The head of the FBI. Huh? The Federal Bureau of Investigation. What did he say? He said we got to kill the rise of prevent the rise of the Black Messiah. So what was he doing? While President Kennedy was meeting with Dr. King in one room, J. Edgar Hoover was planning King, Malcolm's, and others, Medgar Evers, and everybody else's death and infiltration inside our organizations to dismantle them and destroy black people. So what are you talking about? And in the 1970s, when just in 1970, you heard it on the Godfather when they sat around deciding about the drug industry. They said what? Put it in the black communities. Let them lose their soul anyway because they're animals anyway.
Why? Because I believe this drug business is going to destroy us in the years to come. I mean, it's not like gambling or liquor or even women, which is something that most people want nowadays, and it's forbidden to them by the Petsanavati of the church. Even the police departments that have helped us in the past with gambling and other things are going to refuse to help us when it comes to narcotics. And I believed that then, and I believe that now.
Times have changed. It's not like the old days where we can do anything we want. A refusal is not the act of a friend. If Don Corleone had all the judges and the politicians in New York, then he must share them. All he loved is use them. He must let us draw the water from the well. Certainly he can present a bill for such services. After all, we are not communists.
I also don't believe in drugs. For years I paid my people extra so they wouldn't do that kind of business. Somebody comes to them and says, I have powders. If you put up $3,000, $4,000 investment, we can make $50,000 distributing. So they can't resist. I want to control it as a business, to keep it respectable. I don't want it near schools. I don't want it sold to children. That's an infamia. In my city, we would keep the traffic in the dark, people, the colored. They're animals anyway, so let them lose their souls.
So what are you talking about? So they move what? Heroin, cocaine in the 70s and 80s and infiltrated our communities with that foolishness. I know what I'm talking about. My mother was a heroin addict and died of the AIDS virus. My father was a heroin addict and died of the AIDS virus. My brother, 1 year older than me, got more heroin in Royal State Prison in New Jersey than any on the streets of Newark, New Jersey. And he died in Northern State Prison because he was a heroin addict. And my brother, 1 year under me, his involvement in illegal activity, he doing 35 to life plus 35 years. My sister, by my mother and father, the only one. My mother died of the virus. My sister went into the penitentiary and then came out. So don't tell me this crap about what you can't do for us and some doggone plan in front of us. Go back and look at the letter in 1712 from Willie Lynch. Huh? Willie Lynch sent a letter 1712. Think about that right now. Huh? And in his letter, he said for 300 plus years, you will have control of these N-word, these Negroes. So what are you talking about? And then after the Voting Rights Act was signed, we know what Lyndon B. Johnson said. So stop acting like you don't. He said this was his words. We will now have these niggas voting for us for the next 200 years in the Democratic Party because of what they did. So we talking about a plan? You better look at Willie Lynch. Ain't nothing in 2025, us all 900 pages, talk about come near to what was in the Willie Lynch letter. And what did they do then? They took black men and brought all the slaves in front of them, tied one leg to one horse, another leg to another horse, and then whipped him. And then sent the horses in 2 different directions to split his body in front of his wife and his children and those on the plantation. They took black women who were pregnant, cut open their womb, and let the baby drop out, sewed it right back up, sewed the wound up, and then sent them right on the plantation. There ain't nothing in 2025 that can come near that. Y'all got us going to vote like some doggone cowards. Like we cowards, black man. Stand up and get some backbone. The heck you care about somebody's plan? You better read COINTELPRO. You better read about Brother Williams' King Alpha plan. We walking around here, man, you got to be kidding. Out of all the hell that we done been through and survived, and we still standing. The problem is we don't have a plan. The problem is we don't have an uncompromising black agenda. We got to wake up. Putting these immigrants all in front of us. And these jokers out here, these bougie people, oh, my black job. Like y'all don't know what that man was saying. He talking about the jobs that we got thousands and millions of people in our community who are felons. And they come home returning citizens and they can't get jobs. Some of our young people, they don't have high school diplomas or GEDs and they only qualify for certain jobs. Everybody don't go to college from our community. So there's only certain jobs they can apply to. But what are they doing right now? They're giving it to the immigrants. What are they doing right now? They're giving it to the immigrants. They beefing up their social services. They getting Social Security. They getting ETB cards. And some of them getting between think about this, $5,000 and $13,000 a month. Plus a card for $5,000 for living expenses.
Black voters are taken for granted, i.e. they make you promises and they don't deliver.
But I need my president to tell me why I worked so hard all these years, all these decades. Couldn't get a business loan, but I bust my ass to get the money to create my business.
I want you to listen to this very closely because this might be the most important motivation for this election year of 2024. This story is heartbreaking, but it's so familiar and so many people are experiencing very similar things. This economy, on paper, looks like it's one thing, but in reality, people are experiencing a high level of discomfort. Yeah.
I need this message to go out to our vice president who's running for president. I have heard all over social media about, excuse me if I say anything wrong, immigrants getting loans, money. It was hard for me to believe. It was just extremely hard for me to believe. I've been in business such a long time. Back in 2019, I purchased my first food truck. It cost me over $25,000. I paid it cash money. I worked hard to pay for this truck. I'm now selling it because I'm doing other things, but I'm selling it. I had a guy come to look at purchasing my vehicle, or my food truck, and he explained to me he's an illegal immigrant. He has no credit. He has no money in the bank. But he showed me his paperwork that he will receive funds to purchase my food truck. I'm thankful that he's buying it, but I'm hurt that I worked so hard to pay cash for my food truck. I have good credit. Can't even get a business loan because of the color of my skin. I have veterans in my family. I'm a veteran. I've been self-employed for so long. But somebody, please tell me, how do I work so hard to have somebody who comes to this country, not long, no credit, and he shows me paperwork where they'll be funding him money to buy my food truck. And when I talked to the bank, they told me usually they have to go straight to a dealership because I'm a private sale. But for special circumstances, they're going to, they allow it. But I need my president to tell me why I worked so hard all these years, all these decades. Couldn't get a business loan, but I bust my ass to get the money to create my business. And we got immigrants coming here. And they're getting money. Money! We're doing nothing but just being here. It's not right, and I want answers.
Man, y'all got to be kidding me. And we sitting around letting these people get away with this? Like they gonna do something for us. If they was gonna do something for us, they would have treated us just like they treat these immigrants. And we've been here and we built this doggone country.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? But through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first. My administration is fighting with everyone and all our heart to reverse the pain inflicted by Democrat leaders and to deliver hope and opportunity and prosperity for all Americans, but for African American communities all throughout our land.
A taxpayer-funded group is offering $30,000 to new home buyers. Lauren, you cannot apply if you're an American citizen. What's with that?
Why would an American citizen apply for a taxpayer-funded program to get $30,000 for a new home? I mean, it's wild. The group is called Hacienda Community Development Corporation. They offer payment assistance in Oregon to DACA recipients, asylees, green card holders, basically any non-U.S. citizen. This is state-sponsored discrimination, Stuart. That's what it is. I mean, it's crazy. That's their goal. They want to open up housing and the American dream to non-U.S. citizens.
Okay, I guess that's the reason why that's why we have an open border, because eventually these folks will vote and vote Democrat because they're the people who let them in. That's what this is about.
Part of me wants to say crazy things happen in Oregon, but I think this will go far beyond Oregon. There is a critical shortage of houses across the United States, particularly in Oregon, and then they're giving $30K to non-taxpayers.
Yeah, which will raise the price of houses.
For everybody else.
Pathetic. All right, Lauren, thank you very much indeed.
But we sitting around falling for this nonsense. And these misleaders, I don't care. They can be politicians, political operatives. They can be pastors in churches. They all are born into the FBI. And what is the FBI? Faith-based initiatives. So they all on that program. They all on that payroll. And I'm just saying, partners, we got to change this game. We got to change it, and we got to change it now, and we got to do something for ourselves. I'm so sick of this foolishness. We keep praying and praying, but prayer without works is dead. So we got to get up and work an agenda for our needs, for our concerns. So I'm just saying, and then we got these middle class folks, man, they on here playing foolishness. Man, forget all this. And people, I'm telling you straight up, man, Democrats done took advantage of us. Kamala Harris made it clear to us. I ain't doing nothing for you just for blacks. You did it for the LGBT community. You did it. You doing it for transgender. You did it for the Asian community. You did it for the Indian community. You doing it for Ukraine. You doing it for Israel. You doing it for everywhere else. You like, we don't need no aid. Like we don't need no resources. Like we ain't hurting. Like we ain't in pain. Man, y'all got to wake up, black.
To determine who'll go to the White House and who'll stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. The party that you bash controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you. Because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
People, this is the time and a defining moment for us. It's a defining moment for us, and we got to stand up and do something for ourselves. We can no longer allow them to take advantage of us and overlook our needs. Our needs should supersede anybody else's need. And that's why we can't afford this election to just go, I'm going to vote. You know, it's got that sticker they put on you. I voted today. No, we need to go as a block. And it says we voted today. But we cannot be fooled into this trap again. Ain't nobody done nothing for you now. Then now you got to cut a new deal. It's time for a new deal for Black America.
Yo, what's up? This your homie Ice Cube. Here to talk to my black folks. You know, I just want to be straight up because there's a lot of messages going out about this election. First and foremost, anybody telling you that you gotta vote, that it's your duty, that you have to exercise the right, and that people died for you to vote. For one, people did die, but nobody walked out their house to go die for you to vote. They were killed by probably some racists that don't want to see us get anything. But I'm saying that to say this. Be skeptical of anybody telling you to vote and not telling you to ask for anything, or to tell you to just vote and not to get anything for your vote. That's not how it works. That's not the process. You don't vote just to vote. You vote because you're getting something, or your community is getting something. So everybody that's telling you that, man, look at them and say, what are you getting? Because people that just want you to vote and not ask for nothing, people that's in power that want you to vote but don't want you to get anything, or not asking for you to get anything economically, they suspect. Straight up. Because a lot of people been in place for a long time and we ain't got shit. That shit gonna end. That shit gonna end. We gonna get what we supposed to get. Period. And anybody asking you not to ask, I wouldn't listen to them. Because that's the process. Every community asks for what they want. And we're going to do the same goddamn thing.
It's time for a new deal for the black man. And ain't nobody talking talking about the needs for the black man at all. Our women organizations, they not talking about it. Huh? The Democratic Party, they ain't mentioned one word about nothing for the black community. But they want to talk about some joy and hope. Hope in who? Ain't got no hope in no man. I only got hope in the Creator and his divine instructions. And I only trust God himself. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, man. Yo, I got to wake up, partners. We got to wake up. We got to wake up. They about to pull the wolves over us, and we sitting around because we jumping around in joy. Really? How you gonna jump around in joy and they had a bus outside the Democratic convention killing babies? They got a bus. You can walk on a bus and get your baby taken out of your womb. You should have thought about that before you laid down with a joker. You were feeling good when it was feeling good. Now you're going to talk about, oh, I don't want this baby. Really? Man, come on, man. Listen, we got to wake up. We have to wake up because I'm telling you, all right, you can stay asleep if you want to. Stay asleep if you want to. I'm just kicking it 100 with you right now. I'm kicking it with you 100. You hear me? So y'all go on. I'll be back. You're going to hear from your brother. But this got to end, man. And they got to come and talk to us. They can't just say, oh, I got your vote because you dissatisfied with one. No, you got to come and sit down with us. You got to come and sit down with organic black men. You got to come and sit down with those in our community that's really concerned about the pain and suffering in our community and not this nonsense that they continue to pull over us. And then, after this presidential election, that voter apathy on the local level. And as they say, all politics is local. We need to clean up City Hall. We need to clean up the school board. We need to clean up all of this foolishness. You understand what I'm saying? We need to clean it up. And we need to fire them jokers. Because the prophecy in Jeremiah 23 says, you're fired. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings. And may the Creator protect you and guide you. And may the Creator lift us up. These dry bones, I'm talking about the dry bones in the valley. A mighty wind is coming. And it's coming with truth. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings. I'm out of here.